Today's video is a reading vlog of all the books that I've read this past week. Hi, I'm Jane and welcome to the Reading Nook. Good morning, everyone. It is a sunny morning here on Saturday here. And today, like I said earlier in my intro, this is a reading vlog of all the books that I've read this past week, starting from last Saturday, and then ending off yesterday on Friday. And I just wanted to, just a couple of little items that I wanted to mention to you. I started a Discord server a couple weeks ago, and the link is in the description below. And it's all about cozy mysteries. Just talking about your favorite cozy mysteries, what ones you're reading. It's just a discussion of all things cozy mystery. So if you'd like to join, I'd be happy to have you. And I am just thinking about the different things for my videos, what I can film, and how I can present them. And I also installed it's a spin wheel app. It's like you can use it for all kinds of different things, but I'm using it for, I think I'm going to use it for a reading TBR. And I think Sarah from the Bookish Knitter has something similar. She puts book titles or reading prompts in the wheel, and then it does a spin, and it'll just randomly pick a book or a prompt. So I'm thinking about incorporating that in my reading, like maybe every week or every month. I'm not sure exactly how I'm going to do it yet, but without further ado, let's get to the reading vlog and the first book that I had read, what I thought of it. Good morning, everyone. It is Saturday, January 21st, and I am stuck inside today because we are in the middle of a snowstorm here in St. John's. We're supposed to get like 30 to 50 centimeters, which is a lot of snow. I'm not sure how many inches that is, but it's a lot. And I meant to vlog earlier this week, but I slept in late 2 days in a row, and so I had to race off to get to work, so I didn't have any time. I think I'm going to switch out my schedule for vlogging. I think I might do it after I come home from work, so then I'm not racing to get everything done, so I can get to work. The books that I read 2 books last week, and the first one was The Duke and the Lady in Red by Lorraine Heath, and it is book 3 in the Scandalous Gentleman of St. James. And I gave it 3 wontons out of 5. It was all right. It was the main premise. I'll just give you a short synopsis of the book. It's Lady Rosalind. She needs money, and so she gets into this arrangement with the Duke of, they pronounce it the narrator pronounces it Avondale, but I would say Avondale, but whatever it is. So he suggests that he will give her whatever she wants if she spends a week with him in his bed. So it's almost like, I wouldn't call it friends with benefits. I don't know what you would call it, but so she agrees, and as I said before, it was okay. And the relationship, there's a relationship that Lady Roz has with another character in the book, and it's just really, really sweet. And just the way that she treats this person and takes care of them is just really, really lovely to read about. And the way the Duke also treats this person is really, really, really sweet too. Is like, you think that like those characters in historical romances, the main characters are always really brash, gruff, very stoic, and they have all this money, so they can do whatever they want and treat people however they want. But this Duke, he's just very, very, just seems very wonderful to this particular character. I'm not going to spoil it, so if you're interested in reading it, then you'll know what I'm talking about. And there is a scene later in the book that's really, really sad. This is like, it's when you read it, it's just very heartbreaking. But overall, it was an okay read. And the other book that I read was Murder on the Rocks by Karen McInerney, and it is book 1 in the Grey Whale Inn series. And this one, I had it in my TBR for the longest time. And Ro on Discord, she's been recommending this as one of her favorite series. And she said it's more cozy than mystery, and I see that. But I actually didn't mind it. I liked it. It felt like almost half cozy, half mystery to me. And in this book, the main character Natalie, she runs the Gray Whale Inn. It's kind of like a restaurant. She makes she runs the business, and she also the bakes and cooks and it's that kind of a business. And so there is a disagreement. I guess it's like a disagreement between this land developer, Katz, and he wants to build his property on land that's protected. It's got wildlife on, like certain species of birds that's a very I guess unique, or it's protected. It's the people are very protective of the birds in that area, and he wants to build over this land, so it's going to drive the birds out. So there's a lot of people are just not happy about it, and he ends up murdered one day. So Natalie just decides she wants to figure out what's going on, because there's people that I think there's, if I remember correctly, there's a person, the person that's suspected is somebody that she knows very well and cares about. So she wants to find out what's going on. Now, if I've butchered the premise, so please let me know, because I'll post it here what's going on in the book, like who it was that's suspected. But this one I liked. I gave it 4 wontons out of 5. I really enjoyed it, and like I said, it felt like half cozy, half mystery, which I felt was pretty good. And the covers on these books are beautiful. They're gorgeous. The artwork is just amazing. I really like the covers, and I'm definitely going to be reading more from this series. And so the books that I'm currently reading this week, I'm actually in the middle of The Way of Kings. It's the book 1 in the Stormlight Archive by Brandon Sanderson. So that one I'm reading as a buddy read on Mr. Francie's Discord. And so we're reading that one January and February, so I'm kind of in the middle of that one. And I'm also rereading Meet Your Baker by Ellie Alexander. That's book 1 in the Bake Shop mystery series. And that's for the Cozy Escape Book Club. I think that's going to be Wednesday, I think, this week, that we're going to be discussing that. And the other book that I'm reading is also another buddy read with Sharon. It's called The New Neighbor by Carter Wilson. That one's a thriller. And I'm about halfway through that one as well. So I just wanted to give you a quick update today, since I didn't get a chance to vlog earlier this week when I really wanted to. So I'm going to check in with you later in the week on my progress on these 3 books. I may pick up another one. I was going to read Wuthering Heights, but I don't know if I'll get to it. But I'll try. See if I can. All right, have a good Saturday, everyone, and I'll see you next time. Good morning, everybody. It is Sunday, January 22nd, and we're doing cleanup now from the storm that we had all day yesterday, and we got almost 50 centimeters of snow, which is almost 20 inches. It's a lot of snow, and at least the weather is supposed to clear up today, so it's not going to be so bad. So yesterday I finished Meet Your Baker. It was a reread for, like I said in my previous clip, it's a reread we're reading it for the Cozy Escape Book Club, and I loved it. When I read it in 2021, I gave it 4 stars, 4 wontons out of 5, and this time I gave it 5 wontons out of 5. I really liked it, really loved it. I love the setting in Ashland, Oregon. I love the characters. The story was great. And the writing is so good as well. And so the basic premise of this book, Jules Capshaw, she used to be an executive chef, I guess that's what you call it, on a cruise ship with her husband. And she finds out something about her husband that she has to leave the marriage and leave the cruise ship, and she goes back home to Ashland, Oregon, to help her mom with running the family bake shop business, and the bake shop is called Tort. And so there's a Shakespearean festival, the Oregon Shakespeare Festival, and so they have a board of directors, and one of the people, like, she's a board member, I think, and her name is Nancy, and she's just really not a very nice person. She just goes after the actors, just making really snide, very mean comments to them. And then one day she's died, she's dead, and so Jules decides she's trying to figure out what's going on, because one of there's one of the characters, Sterling, she thinks that he might be involved, and she might even we meet Sterling, we meet Lance and her mom, Jules' mom, and the professor, and he's a police officer in Ashland, and we also meet Tom as her ex-boyfriend, who she was dating in high school, and so we meet all these different characters, and Lance, I love Lance. He's such a character, and so she investigates what's happening, and I found the reveal of who did it. I really liked it. Oh, the narrator was really good too. I like the way that she narrated the whole story, and the way the reveal was done was like fabulous. I can't say it, can't praise it enough. I just really like this book, and I'm definitely going to reread the rest of the series. I just finished Muffin But the Truth a little while ago, but I still want to read the whole series again. I just really liked it. And so the other book that I'm reading is The Next Neighbor, or The New Neighbor rather, by Carter Wilson. That's a thriller, and that's the buddy read that I'm doing with Sharon. And I was listening to it last night, and I fell asleep. And when I did wake up, I was towards the end of the book. I was like, what happened here? I'm not sure what's happening. So now I have to go back, because I had started off on chapter 65, and so I'm going to go back to that again and just listen to the whole thing, from that point on, just so I can understand what in the world happened, because I have no idea what's going on. I mean, there's some things that have been revealed that seem a little bit strange. So I'm thinking that the from chapter 65 on, it should explain a bit more. So I'm going to listen to that today, and hopefully I can get that done this week, or maybe in the next couple of days. So just want to give you a quick update, and I will see you in my next video. Good afternoon, everyone. It is Wednesday, or Monday evening on January 23rd, and got home from work and got my walk-in and got my showers. Excuse me, I'm in my PJs. Just wanted to give you a quick update on what I read Sunday. So I finished The New Neighbor by Carter Wilson, and I gave that one 3 wontons out of 5. I found the book okay. So the basic premise of the book is Aidan Marlowe, he's the main character. It opens up with him at his wife's funeral with his twins, Bo and Maggie. And he finds out after the funeral that he won the lottery. It was $15 million or $13 million, I think it was. So he packs up his kids and his entire life and moves. And he moves into this house. And as soon as they've moved in and settled in, these letters start arriving to the house, saying like things like, "We are happy that you've moved in. We're watching you," and there's things talking about things like death is all around you. It starts saying things like, "You can't leave, and we're watching you. We're always monitoring you," and it just gets even really creepy. And so Aidan's wondering what exactly is going on. It's affecting his kids too, because they're scared out of their minds, and it starts to become a bit of a psychological twist, or not twist, but a psychological bent. Leans more towards that as you go on in the book, because Aidan he realizes, or he finds evidence that he's been writing some of the letters on his laptop, but then the letters start to get more, I don't know if elaborate's the right word, but they lean towards extortion, where whoever this person is asking for money. They're asking Aidan, or they're demanding that he deposits like $20 million or $10 million into this bank account. And so it's not possible that Aiden would be extorting money from himself. So it's got to be somebody else. So that's mostly he talks to his lawyer friend Maya, I think is her name, and trying to figure things out. And so we find out who's what's going on. And I mean, as I said before, I gave it 3 wontons out of 5. It was an alright read. I listened to it on audio, and it was okay. I mean, it wasn't anything too spectacular, and the twist, it was an okay twist, and it wasn't anything that's like, oh my god, I can't believe that happened. It was still an okay read. The other book, and I actually borrowed it yesterday and read it the same day, finished it on the same day. It was a Call for KELP, and that was book 3 in the Seaside Cafe series by Bree Baker. And this one I also gave 3 wontons out of 5. And this could be because I was listening to a podcast at the same time that I was reading the book, so I wasn't actually focused or concentrated on the book. But the main purpose of this book is Everly Swan she runs an iced tea cafe, a seaside cafe, and she sells different flavors of iced tea, and she also makes other things, baked goods, sandwiches, and things like that. And her great aunts are filming this documentary, and Mitzi Calgon, she arrives. She's she's an actress, and she arrives to help out with the documentary. And Everly finds out that Mitzi knew her grandmother years and years ago. So Everly's excited because she wants to. She doesn't know very much about her grandma, so she's eager to sit down with Mitzi and just talk, ask her what her grandmother was like, and just share story and just hear her stories. And right before Everly is able to have a chance to sit down with Mitzi. Mitzi is found dead. She's found dead in I guess it's a bee box. I'm not really sure exactly what they're called, but they house bees, honeybees. And we find out that Mitzi is severely allergic to bees. So she carries an EpiPen around with her. So it's really strange that she's found in a bee box. And when she's extremely allergic. Also, learn about or see other characters that come in that recur in the series, like Grady. He's the police officer, and I think he's in a sort of like a relationship with Everly. They're just kind of testing things out, and his little son Denver and Denise. She's Denver's au pair, so Denver is a really really sweet little boy, and just see the interactions between Everly and all these other characters. And so again, I gave this book 3 wontons out of 5, and it was an okay read. So and I also borrowed Clobbered by Camembert. I think I said it right, Camembert, by Avery Ames, and this is book 3 in a cheese shop mystery series. So I just started reading that one, and I'm still progressing through The Way of Kings by Brandon Sanderson. I'm finding this. I'm actually starting to find it a little bit more interesting. I'm at a part that's actually very interesting right now. It's capturing my attention. So just wanted to. This is my quick update for tonight, and I'm going to go and grab some dinner and just maybe do some reading tonight. I'm probably going to read. I'm going to read the Clobbered by Camembert tonight, and probably listen to more Way of Kings before bed. So I will check in with you in my next update. All right, have a good night, everyone. Hello, everyone. It is Thursday evening on January 26th, and I finished Clobbered by Camembert last night, and I gave it 4 wontons out of 5. I enjoyed it. So the main premise of this book, it's follows Charlotte Bissett. She works at her grandparents' cheese shop store with her cousin Matt, and they do a joint cheese and a wine pairing. They sell both the cheeses and wines. And so in this book, one day, a friend, Caitlin Clydesdale, which is a very interesting name, but she comes into town and she is found dead in Rebecca's home. Rebecca is one of Charlotte's friends, and also she works at the Fromagerie Bisette. That's the name of the store that Charlotte and Matt run with their grandparents. And so immediately, Rebecca is starting in a relationship with Ipo. He is a Hawaiian, and he runs a bee farm, and so he's immediately suspected because Caitlin is there to check out property to start a new business, and she's excuse me, she is looking at property that's right next to Ipo's farm. So that's why the police suspect him, because it would encroach on his business. So Rebecca asks Charlotte to investigate. So in the book, we see a whole bunch of characters. Like we see Charlotte, her cousin Matt, Meredith, who's a friend of Charlotte's, and she works at the store as well. And Matt's twin girls, Amy and Claire. And you also see the grandparents there prominently as well. And there's another character that comes in. He's not a regular character. His name is Chip, and he's one of Charlotte's ex-boyfriends. And he's a bit of a slime. He seems really sleazy and slimy. He wants to get back with Charlotte. And he's like very, what's the word I'm looking for? Just very handsy. I guess he won't take no for an answer, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And he's always trying to touch her and calls her babe as if they're together, or if they have a really, really close relationship. And we also have Umberto, I think. I know Charlotte calls him Yui because his first and last name start with U, and he's the police chief or the police officer. He's investigating the death. And we also have Sylvie. She's Matt's ex-wife and the mother of the twins. And she's not a very, I think she's written as not very nice. She's just very shallow, flighty, and she just comes up, just a minor spoiler, she comes back after having been gone from Matt's life and her daughter's lives. So she's also not the greatest character either. She's just not she just seems very, like I was saying, she's a very shallow and flighty, and just doesn't seem very reliable a person, or a very reliable character. And so I like this book. When I first started the series, I really enjoyed it. I liked all the characters, and so this was actually I like this. This is book 3. I forgot to mention it's book 3 in a cheese shop mystery series by Avery Ames. So I definitely am going to be continuing this series, and so I managed to finish the books that I plan on reading, except for one. I really wanted to read Wuthering Heights, but I didn't get to it. But everything else I did read, and I'm still I'm at 59% finished, or into The Way of Kings by Brandon Sanderson, and I haven't actually started it yet. But I'm going to start. I think I'm going to try to read it this week, the rest of this week, and maybe next week, as The Housemaid by Frida McFadden. I just recently joined or subscribed to Kindle Unlimited, so I'm going to try that out. And I've been wanting to read The Housemaid for a while. I've seen it, people talk about it on BookTube and recommending it or raving about it, so I really wanted to try it. And I couldn't find it in a library or anywhere like that, and it's listed in Kindle Unlimited, so I decided to try it out. So this is my I think this will be my last update for this week. So I'm going to go and grab some dinner and just relax tonight, and I will go back to Present Jane, and we'll wrap this up. So those were all the books that I read this past week, and I think I did pretty well overall. I didn't rate anything under 3 wontons out of 5, and I had one that I rated 5 wontons, so I think I did pretty well. And I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your weekend, and I will see you in my next video. Thanks. Bye.